Hey there everybody, welcome back. So we are once again back on PV Rivers, remastered by Mr. Dajnet, and off we get on doing some weeding to start off with. So yay on me! How's it going there, Dead Soul? Green Thumb Farmer, Mr. Jers, Mr. The Vink, thank you very much for the biddies, much appreciated. How's it going there, Mr. Farming Trucker and PJ? If you guys are not following, obviously Farming Trucker, PJ, or Green Thumb Farmer, make sure to click on their links, give them all a follow because they're great content creators. Alright, so yes, we are starting off with doing a little bit weeding in the rain. We do have a tornado incoming, so yes, gotta keep an eye out for that to see if it actually pops in during the stream. I think I'm now done on this field. Yes, I am. Cool. So we can turn this off, get this folded up. So as you can see, we're actually into the beginning of May. We've now got all of the fields planted. As you can see, we do have a lot of weeds to get removed. So I'm going to start off with that. In addition to that, let me pop over here. So my 3 fields down the bottom here are ready to get cut. So we might be able to get into that. I also have this field up here, 89. Which is now ready to be cut as well, which is also grass. 96, obviously this was a bit of a troublesome field over by my meat cow farm. I ended up going through that whole plot, ploughed it up, seeded it with grass so we can get more bales off of that. So that is where we're at so far. Obviously I've gone through up the top here, I've weeded this field already. And yeah, it's a busy old one, so I've got this entire area over here to do. But yeah, we're on the hunt for a tornado touching down. Now, the last time I had one, it actually touched down up the top here and actually followed the river down past the old Green Thumb Farmer's roller coaster that he's done. So, yay! Mr. Farmer Marks! Good morning to you too, and hey Mama Do, how you doing my dear? Yeah, thank you very much for that 100 biddies, much appreciated. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what things happen today. One of the things I do need to do is look at some more of my factories, because one of the big things is I need to keep them going. Also, we've got a lot of factories over here compared to over on Kinlake, that's for sure. I had a lot going on. Holy heck. I didn't realize just how much I actually had. Oh, but yes, it is what it is. Actually, one thing I do want to do before jumping over there, I want to show you my little fish area. I don't know if I've actually showed you guys since I placed this lot down. So, actually, we go into flight mode just to show you. Make life that a little bit easier. So, as you can see, it's a nice little corner here. Also, we've got the little water, the river, the stream right here, which is kind of helpful. But also, we've got the hatcheries right here. So, we've got 1 and 2 of them. We've got 2 trout, 2 salmon lakes down. And as you can see, I did put in some lovely little pond weeds, I suppose, best way to put it. But yeah, unfortunately, one of the things I realised is Giant Sand actually doesn't have any visuals for fish when you put the stuff in there, so don't worry, it's not a bug, it's Giants, and obviously mine won't show either. What's kind of the reason I actually looked is actually in one of the blog posts, I think it was, about the fishing. I'm sure in one of the pictures it actually had fish swimming around in these ponds by Giants, but it looks like they may have removed it. Maybe it was just a visual for the blog itself, but yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be nice just to have some random fish swimming around in there? But oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, things are definitely coming on nicely, and obviously got my little shed there for storing any excess fish for the minute. I actually think I did show all this off last time, but I thought I'd just cover it very, very quickly. Hey there, Mr. Vortex, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, coming along round, obviously we do have the park, which is slowly building at the minute. Do need to get some more products in there, because I think that's going to kind of fit in with this whole fishing type area. Carrying on, obviously we do have fish food production down, which I do have 3 pallets out now. spawned. I think I had maybe one the other day when I streamed, which is kind of nice. And then obviously I do have this ready to receive onions. I've got a few fields of onions actually now planted. So I think the last stream, if I remember rightly, I had one field by the farm planted, or I was in the process of planting it. I can't remember now. It's been so long ago. Trying to remember, it's terrible. But yeah, I ended up doing this field right here with onions. I thought, well, why the heck not go a little bit more? So I've planted these two fields over here that I've created with onions as well. Apart from that, we're all good now. So yay, hopefully that's enough to keep everything going. I might be lacking a little bit on sugar beets, but we'll have to see. We've got two small fields. We've got 167, and then the combined ones 127, 128. Just in sugar beets, but yeah, we'll have to see. So potatoes, sugar beets, maybe a little bit low. I'm not quite sure, but sorghum maybe okay. We'll see how it goes. But overall, everything is planted. I may have to do a bit of jiggling around next month. Or next year, I should say, for planting purposes. But yes, we'll see. We shall see. And how are you doing there, T Miller? Plinko still hates you, is it? Oh, that's a point. Do I? No. Oh, yeah. My little dirt bike that I was using the other day, the Can-Am, I ended up putting up by my house. So that's where it's going to be staying for now. But there we go. Let's enter into there. But yes, it looks like we've got a few jobs I need to get done this month if possible. Obviously, one, I need to get all these weeding fields done. Two, I need to obviously go through all my productions. But three, I really need to get in and do some more logging at some point. I've got my sawmills with a little bit in them at the minute, but I really need to get them filled properly up so they can keep processing throughout the rest of the year. And obviously if I can get my little storage filled up as well, that would be great. So I'm probably planning either tomorrow or maybe Wednesday stream to start clearing some more of these trees out here. And actually I've got some down on the ground, so I could actually go in and get them loaded up at some point. But yeah, it is what it is for the minute. But yes, did you check the breakable coal XML? I did. To be honest, there isn't anything for the breakable rocks that I could see. Farming Trucker, unless I'm going blind, I'll have to go through the map again. But yeah, for everybody who wasn't aware, obviously, with the last update, coal was renamed to coal ore, basically. Obviously, when you get into the mine to do get into the mines to do the rock break-in to get through the tunnels, the coal ones don't seem to be spawning out any product when you break them. I don't know if I missed an XML somewhere, possibly, I really don't know. I did actually have a look through yesterday or Saturday, I think it was, when Farming Trucker messaged me about it, and yeah, I couldn't see a actual XML for those what do you call them? The breakable rocks, which is kind of a weird thing. So may I have to speak to Mr. Dave to see how he got them set up. Obviously, the other ones I could find is obviously the miners, which is obviously the spawn triggers for in the mine, and obviously the miners themselves. Yeah, something funky going on there. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, if you guys are not following basically Mr. T Miller, make sure to click on the link, give him a follow, guys. And let's see, I have a big favour to ask of you. Can you make a bigger seed tank, please? You're good at that stuff. And Mr. Shoddy, thank you very much for the mega fart. How do you mean by a bigger seed tank? Are you after a bigger seeder? Are you after like a trailer or something for transporting seed in it? I'm not quite sure. Obviously, one of the things I will be doing at some point is updating my horse seeder. I have added in onion over the weekend. I actually tested out on those two fields earlier, so definitely works. Yeah, but what do you mean by seed tank? On a seeder, on a tank, and 5,000 isn't much, to be honest. Oh, heck, I'm not paying attention here. Is it a silo type tank, or I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. Oops, there we go. I've never heard of a seed tank, to be honest. If you got an idea, like something in game, maybe send me a picture on Discord so I know what you're on about there, Farmer Marks. But yeah, I could throw that together for you. Yes. And hey, J-Dog, by the way, how you doing, buddy? Voltrop, Andy the Farmer. To put on front of you. Oh, I got you. So, yeah, that's all you have to say. So let's see. You want like a front hopper, do you, type thing? So one of these guys. So also we could do the coon, the horse. If I was to do one, I'd probably do the horse because that's what I'm using. And then obviously they're the ones currently in game. Which one would you prefer there, Mr. Farmer Marks? The coon or the horse? It's entirely up to you, but yeah, I have been thinking about doing an edited version where it's color selectable, different capacities on it, because for those who may or may not be using it, obviously on my Trello, I haven't actually updated it or added a new version. Where is it? I have... Where the heck's mine? Did I not put it into my category, or am I going blind? Oh, this thing right here. Obviously, I've got the Maestro right here. Obviously, this will do it up to 27. I'm going to tweak some of the numbers in this thing, though. And, oh, what's that? Nalasmum, I think that's pronounced. 2115, thank you very much for that follow, much appreciated. You on the horse? Okay, yeah, I'll do that after the stream. Actually, if you really want, I could do it right now, to be honest. And throw it up. But yeah, obviously I did go through over the weekend with this one. I haven't done the other one. And I did add in onions. So as you can see right here, for anybody who does have the DLC, you can do plant onions now. Now, I do want to address one little thing. This actually came up over the weekend. So obviously now that we have onions with the DLC, I want to address that quickly. So onions right now are not classed as a base game crop. And how are you doing there, Cope TV? How you doing, buddy? You're not late. We've only been live for about 13 minutes, so you're good, sir. But yeah, I know you were up running ATS last night, so yes, I kind of seen some of it, shall we say. But yeah, going back to the onions, so they're not classed yet as a base game crop. Mr. Farmax, thank you very much for the 200 biddies. For the simple fact, yeah, thank you for that, by the way. For the simple fact, obviously you need the DLC to activate the onions, the seeders, the harvesters, the productions, and everything that's needed for doing the onions, including the visuals. Now, what a map maker could do is add the base game onions, even though they're in the files. They could actually go into the files and pull them and put them into their maps, or even pull it, or whatever they want to do. So basically how Mr. Dashnet did with the carrots in 22. If you guys remember, also we had carrots before the final DLC came out. But once that DLC was released with the carrots, the parsnips, and red beets, Mr. Dashnet actually went in and repathed his carrot textures to the base game ones. So that way it could be done. The only thing is, obviously, you'd have to the map maker would have to go in and add onions to all the necessary categories, so the planting category, the bulk category, the train categories, this, that, and the other category. In addition, they'd also have to need a way of harvesting the onions as well. So yeah, right now onions are not I repeat, not a base game crop. And obviously, if you are going to make up a factory, you will need to have the DLC to be able to use the onions. Unless the map already has onions, then there is that. So, yeah. But yeah, regarding the DLC onions on like PV Rivers, on Uncharted, for example, yeah, you need the DLC to use the onions and all the equipment and such. So, just wanted to address that. Mr. Shawnee, holy cripes, you guys are crazy. Thank you very much for the 100 biddies. Right then, we're actually going to do a little bit of modding, so I do apologise. The fishing game will carry on, by the way, but you won't be able to do the Plinko. So, we're going to make a little mod for Mr. Farmer Mark. So, obviously, I need to find this thing in the base game files. Plinko hates you? Yeah. I don't think it hates you. It's just picky. So, let's see. So, here we go. So, I'm going to do a little bit of a modding tutorial for some of you guys. So, we're going to go to the base game file. So, obviously, I've already got this set up. But all it should be is, now, depending on whether you got Steam or the Giants, this part may differ. But for me, it's on my C drive, Program 86 there. And then it's Farm Sim 25 for those on Steam. Where it's located may be different. Plus, if you've moved it around yourself when installing, it may be in a different place. So you'd need to find these base game files for pulling something from the base game and making it a mod. So we'll come into here, we'll come into data, go to vehicles. Obviously, we want the horse partner. So we'll just find horse. So horse is right there. The partner 1600 FT is right there. Now that I've got this, what I'm just going to do is I'm going to save and close down the game. We'll save that there. We're going to close down and hopefully maybe the tornado will kick in a minute. You never know. But yeah, if anybody does want to take a base game vehicle, a implement or anything from the base game, this is the easiest way of doing it. So find it first of all within the game. Once you've got the files, back-to-back tornadoes. I know, T Miller, I was lurking in your stream, and yeah, it's kind of weird. I've never had a back-to-back tornado, one disappear and then the next one kick in straight away. However, I did look in the weather menu, or the seeding menu, whatever you want to call it in the game there, and it looks like for the next couple of hours I have potentially back-to-back tornadoes as well. So yeah, I don't know if I'll just have one because it's covering, I think it's about 4 hours in total, so I'm not quite sure how that's all going to work out. But anyway, right, let's see. Come on, close down. This is taking forever. There we go. Right then, so first things first, we need to create a folder and name it appropriately. So I'm going to do fs22 underscore horse. Is that right? No H. No, it's a CH in it. Horse partner tank. Oop. And because things are starting to pop up on the in-game mod hub, is named the same as what some of the mods are in the pack, and on even my little animal trailer is now showing up on the in-game mod hub as needing to be updated. So I've actually gone through for anybody who does have it and replaced the name. I've actually put the underscore BAM at the end. I'm pretty sure Green Thumb Farmer should be okay. But yeah, it's just so to stop it from showing up on the in-game mod hub. So if you do have my little animal Noah trailer off my trailer, you may want to just go over and get the updated version. I did that yesterday or the day before. But anyway, so yeah, so there is that. So you've got your little folder. This is where it's going to be going into. Now, this is just a personal preference for me, but it's up to you. Not everybody will do this, but I usually take the i3D, the shapes file, the XML, and the actual image. Now, a lot of modders will actually just leave it going to the base game one. Obviously, I prefer to take it because I have had issues in the past where the image wouldn't show in game, so hence why I tend to always add it in there. Once you've got that, now you don't need, or technically you don't need the i3D or the shapes file unless you're going to add color to it, and that's what I'm going to be doing today for Mr. Farmer Marks, because I'm nice that way. And it will also link into my horse cedar as well. Right then, so first thing we want to do is open up the XML. And let me close this little lot. I've been playing around with things over the weekend. There we go. So first things first, I'm going to rename. I'm going to put BAM on the end of this, just so we know that this is the one edited by myself. I'm going to leave the combinations in there because it can link onto the base game ones if need be. We don't need to worry about that. This right here, the image. Obviously, we're going to go through. Obviously, if you can't see this, let me know because I can make it a bit bigger. I could probably do that now, actually. Hey there, kid. How you doing? We're doing a little bit of modding to start off with. So obviously that. So what I've just done there is this is actually linking it to the pathing of the base game image. So what I tend to do is just remove that, and obviously I just keep the name of the image. So that should basically be the same as this one right here, which is store_partner 16.5. Yep, that's what that matches. That's fine. Now, carrying on, I am going to put it into my own category, which is Billy Alpaca Modding, I believe I called it. I can never remember, but we'll double check. This part you don't have to do unless you've got your own categorizer. Where is it? Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Categorizer right there. Obviously in the mod description. So this is going to be drivables, Billy Alpaca Modding. There you go. I can just take it straight from there, make sure it is spelled this correctly, which it is. Good. Right then. In addition, obviously, this is another thing as well. This right here, if you're not going to do any coloring to the implement, the vehicle, whatever, you don't need to remove this, to be honest, if you're not going to have the i3D in the same folder. Obviously, I want it to be repathed because obviously I'm going to be adding color options, so I need to just have this name in there. Now, with that, we then need to go through and find a few things. So first things first is going to be the fill unit. So as you can see right here, this is actually what goes into it, okay? So we've got seeds, we have fertilizer right there. Now I'm going to open up this little reference because sometimes I do forget things, believe it or not. This is like my little thing. Now, I always want to make sure I get things fully 100% correct, okay? There we go. So yeah, as you can see, I've got loads of different things in here that it's a kind of a quick reference for when I'm doing some modding. So the part I'm actually going to be focusing on is this bit right here, which is to do with the capacities and such. So, right, so configuration, so there, so I don't really need that, but I will grab, so I'm not going to charge, because I'm not really big on adding charges, but I'm going to do this quickly, so, we're going to call this default, and did I spell that? Yes, I did. And sounds like somebody got a... Oh, Farmer Marks, you've got a really random broken down old car there, and it's still going, by the way. We've got 28 fishing lines in the queue currently. Oh my goodness. Here you go, look, see. This is what I'm seeing. This is actually going off on the other monitor right now. Oh, Barracuda, there we go. Anywho, right, so I'm going to keep the default one in here, okay? So we're going to leave that there for the minute. Now, what I tend to do is copy all of that configuration, so from fill unit configuration to fill unit configuration. If you're ever unsure, if you just click on that first one, it will show you where it ends. So I'm just going to copy that. And I'm going to add in a few extras just to... help out a bit. You want lime in there as well? I could possibly add lime in there. That's a quite easy one. Just like L-I-M-E. We'll copy that. We'll pop that in there. Pop that in there. And we'll pop that in there. So, I'm kind of thinking maybe a double default. I'm kind of liking double, triple, and then maybe a Unreal, I suppose, best way to put it. So D-O-U-B-L-E for double default. And we'll do a triple. That doesn't. Is it 2 P's? I can never remember. My spelling is atrocious. It doesn't look right. Triple. Oh, triple. T-R-I-P. That looks about right. Okay, so we'll set up the capacities which are right here. Now, don't worry, I will also remove the additional weight issue when going up and up and up. So don't worry, I think the first couple will be okay. Maybe the second couple, I will go with a removal of weight, shall we say. We're going to call this Unreal. So 16, so that's going to be 3200. That will be 4800. Now you wanted what, 5,000, didn't you there, Farmer Marks? Now would 4,800 be okay, or would it be better if it was a little bit higher? See, I could put like 100,000, 50,000 in there if you wanted. That would definitely keep you going, wouldn't it? What actually, here you go. A 56 maybe? I'll do a multiple. There we go. We'll do a 56 for Farmer Marks. 5,600. There we go. Give him 499. Oh, that would be evil. That would be evil. Actually, I'm trying to think. That would be what. Well, actually, if I carried on to 16, what would that be? Oh, my brain's gone dead. Oh, cripes. That'd be a 4. Yeah, so it's a little bit over there. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll call that 4 times. Ah, here we go. 3. Oh, 3 times 2 times. We'll do it that way. And default. There we go. And a Unreal, which I think we'll be okay with that 5,600 actually. I think an Unreal seed for lime. Now I know with the lime and fertilizer they can go through quite quickly. Obviously if you're using precision farming, maybe not as much. If you're using this with a seeder, definitely. To be honest, oh, actually, I'm not quite sure the lime will work, but I suppose if it's connected to something on the back, it should technically work. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll say 100,000. So 100, 1, 2, 3, and we'll put the old update mass equals false. Now I don't think I'll actually use it for liming, but that will work, I think. So let's just remove that little gap there, that gap there, that gap there, that gap there. So that's basically all you need to do when you're doing your capacity options. It's literally just copy one, paste it, put the amount in, so on and so forth. Now there's nothing else really you need to worry about. Now a couple of things I'm going to do is obviously I'm going to up the wear and the dirt duration. Obviously the wear basically means it will last a lot longer till it needs to be repaired, and obviously the dirt is obviously dirt collecting on there. It won't get there as quickly. Now we're going to save that for a second. I just want to have a look at this a sec. So, oh, go away. 1 and possibly the cover. Okay. Right, I don't need that open now. So I'm kind of thinking we may need at least 2 color options added to this. So we're gonna add in, and you can go into any of the base game mods that have color options, and you can grab these if you want to. The International CC Truck is a good one, to be honest. But obviously, I always go with a base color as the prime configuration, and then any additional ones are then the design color configurations. Now, with these, they can go up to like 7 different colors. It's crazy. So, yes. So we're going to call that main color. Actually, we'll just put main, and then I'm hoping this will be the cover. If it allows me, we'll see. Now, obviously, one of the things you will need to add in if you want the full color range is use default colors equals true added to this, okay? Now, when you're getting into this part, it's a little bit more tricky. So, with the way Giants have set them up this time around, we need to add in material slot names to all the different parts that are going to be colorized in the i3D. So, with this, we're going to need the current version of the editor, which is currently 10.0.10. Hopefully it hasn't been updated, because that's what I've got currently. Now, while this is loading up quickly, I'm just going to show you this right here. So you got the base there, you got your color configurations. Also, I've got 8 on there, but yeah, 7 or 8. In addition, if you're doing like a tractor or a trailer or something like that, you can also add this in as well. There you go. Let me zoom in a little bit. It's basically the rim color configuration. It's a simple line or two, and that will automatically add in color options for your rims as well. So that is another good thing to add in. Obviously, this thing doesn't have it, so we don't need to worry about it. So let's close that down and bring this over. So this is where the fun part begins, because we're going to need both of these near each other. So let me close or hide that a minute. We don't need to worry about that. I was playing around. I'm trying to learn a little bit about maps as well, how they all work. It's kind of crazy. Right, so here is the little horse partner. So when you come into this, obviously you want to expand the scenograph first of all. And this is what you're basically looking for. This little bit with the funny little colored box. Now this is usually where you will add your color slot name, okay? Now, if we open up the material editing, this has a whole lot of funky parts. Oh, hello. And if we actually click on the materials, you can see that just on this one piece of this one item, it's got all of these different things. I am going to guess that the part we need is going to be named the Horse Red 1. Now, if you want to do it this way, this is an easier way, and this is what somebody told me quite earlier on in 25. If you come down to where the color scale is and click on the triple dots there, if you actually adjust this bar for the intensity, it'll actually show you what gets changed, or what that is on, basically. Oh my goodness! Anonymous is playing a Chicken Dance remix right in the middle of me modding something. Oh yeah, go for it! Shake that tail feathers! Go on! Go on! I hope this is not a long one, that's all I can say. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, shake it, shake it, shake it baby, shake it, oh yeah, shake it. Oh yeah. Hey there, Mr. NBC Master Dad, how are you doing? That's what you do? Yeah, I had a feeling it might be you. How you doing, buddy? Welcome in. Yeah, if you guys are not following Mr. NBC Master Dad, make sure to click on that click on that link, give him a follow. Obviously, he was doing some Supermarket Simulator, and I believe it was that RV there yet as well with Mr. Dashnet last night. I'd missed it actually. You went live right after I went to bed. It's crazy. But yes. Thank you. Oh, someone's got an epic duck ghoul, by the way. Who's that? J-Dog. Nice one. Oh, I've got to see if I can show it. Look, there we go. Hey, you just got it there. That was almost in time with the chicken hands going off. But yes, you're doing good. Glad to hear it. Cool. Hey, KW. By the way, can everyone else picture Billy doing it in his chair? If I was dressed up as a chicken, then maybe I put the camera on and shake my booty. But no, yeah, no. But anyway, get back into this. So as we now know that this is actually the correct one that's going to highlight and change basically red. What I tend to do is just take that harsh underscore red one and the matte I'm going to do this time, and we're going to copy that and we're going to put it into the slot name, which is the line below it. Now with that being there, I'm going to just save it a second, but we're also going to add that slot name, I'm going to keep it there, into this main one right here. So if we put that right there, now I'm going to take a wild guess at this. Harsh underscore red one is probably going to be the color used for this. So I'm just going to remove the matte. Oh, keep the one there. And we're going to leave it like that. I'm pretty sure that is the color for that. So we'll keep that for now. Now the second part is going to be obviously the what you call it, this part on top here. So there is a harsh gray there. Now I may or may not be right, but I got a feeling it could potentially just do this, but it may do the cover as well. Look at it. Yes, look at that. It's doing that cover as well. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually maybe go deeper into the scenograph, expand it out and find these particular ones and maybe separate them to the cover if you really wanted to. That could get a bit trickier though, just so you are aware. But yeah, we're just going to call that horse grey one matte. We're going to copy the same as previously. We're going to copy it. We're going to put it into that bottom one. We're going to save that. And then, we're going to put this into the cover. Actually, we're going to call this secondary now, because obviously this is kind of doing multiple options. Secondary. There we go. My spelling's atrocious at the minute. So we're going to put the slot name in below. And then the design color configuration is going to be harsh grey 1. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, so I'm not even going to look, to be honest. But if you wanted to double check, if you actually go back to your base game files, and I'll show you this as well. I know a few people have asked. If you go to data, if you go to shared folder here, in here we have this XML in the base game files, which is called brand material templates. If you open that up, this has actually got all of the colors within the game in here. If we actually do a search for that harsh grey 1, that'll take you straight to it, and it's right there. But while we're here, look, we've got harsh red 1, which is that other color, so don't even need to worry about it. But they do have multiple harshes there. You've got a beige, you've got a grey 1, you've got grey 2, and obviously that red. So yeah, don't need to worry about it. I'm pretty happy with it. But there's a lot of other color options in here that you could add it to. So that's fine, that's fine. That's been saved. Obviously, once you've done the edits, make sure to save it. We're going to close that down. And hey, Mr. Matt, how you doing? We're going to close that down. Obviously, we're going to make sure that that is saved one more time. We're going to close that down. The next thing you're going to need is a mod description. So if I find one of mine, let's grab. This is my little amenity pack. We'll use that for the minute. So that is going to be the image. I've got to do a little bit of an edit to that in just a sec. But in the mod description, this is where the fun part begins. So we're going to have to remove a few things. So first things first, the description version number, I think, is currently 104. Also, you want to set it to version number 1000 because this is a new one. And this is going to be names. I'm just going to copy this right here for the second. Let me copy that. I'm going to put that there, and we're going to grab that harsh. And pop that there, and we'll make sure that's lowercase as well. Obviously, I don't need to worry about any of that. Maybe just add the color options for the minute. There we go. We'll get rid of that. Light that up. Copy. Want to tag that down to around right there. And what we'll do, I'll make sure to add it. Oh, capacity options. Yes, you are. You're up to 3 stream streak. Well, thank you there, Mr. Matt. Much appreciated. So there's that, there's that. Right, and so we don't actually need all of this in here because obviously we just really need the one store item. So the store item will be pointing to your XML that you've just edited. So what I tend to do is just right click it, make sure that the whole name of that XML is highlighted, do a copy, and then we're going to paste that in right there. Now I tend to do the keyboards where it's left control C to copy, left control V to paste. Makes life that a little bit easier, but obviously if you wanted to, you can right click, you can copy, and you can paste if you wanted to that way. So there's that, there's that. Obviously the mod description, or the mod icon, we're going to be using this one for the moment. So same thing again, right click it, highlight the whole thing, which it usually does straight away, and we're just going to paste that into there. Also, we're going to have my categorizer in there as well. So we'll save that. That should be fine. Now, the last thing I'm just going to do quickly... Actually, I'm going to change one thing in that mod description. We're going to copy... This is me just doing my little thing. That can go in there. Image, flatten, save... So this will be the store image. So when you take it into the store itself, you should see... Actually, I'm going to adjust that image because that's not quite... And that's better. Put it there. Looks better that way. Image, flatten, save. There we go. Yeah, so we need a mod image. So what I tend to do is... I've got one of these set up already. I'm going to copy that. And we're just going to put that underneath that image. Just like that. So that could be utilized in multiple ways. One for the mod image itself. You can actually resize this if you want to. As it's not going on the in-game mod, you really don't need to. But yeah, you tend to drop it by half in the size for the, I think it's a mod description, or mod image, you should say. But yeah, we're not going on Mod Hub, so we're going to save that there. So we're going to save as, because obviously we want to rename this, otherwise it'll rewrite this. I'm going to call this mod underscore icon. And obviously what you could do is put the name of it. So partner 1600 FT. Just like that. And obviously save. There we go. We'll close that. And what I'm just going to do is take that name, which is obviously, actually, if I go like this, I can show you what I'm looking at. So this is obviously that one with the backing on there. If we actually come back into here and replace that store partner with the new mod icon, you can do it that way instead. But yeah, you don't have to. That's just something I tend to do. Now, one thing I will be doing, because obviously this is going to go up on my Trello, I'm going to save a different copy. So this is actually saved as a DDS image. Now, obviously, when it goes up onto my Trello, I need to save it in a different format because it doesn't like it. So if we go to desktop for a second, we're going to save this as a PNG, and we'll just save that, and it's good to go. There we go. So when it goes up on my Trello, I can use this little image right here. I'm wiggle around, and this will stay in the mod itself. So with that done, let's put that into my Rivers folder quickly, and I'm going to do a quick test just to make sure that it's all working. So what I'll do is I'll load it up onto the base game map, and I'll just check to see where those colors are changing. So obviously if it isn't changing a certain part, we can always go back into the i3D and dig a little bit deeper into there and find out what's going on. But who knows, maybe in the future I'll do an update to it where the cover in that other part around the bottom of the partner are separated. You never know. Probably not, but Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But right, let's come into here. Open up a new save. Yeah, we'll go to there. Also, I don't want the guide. I don't really need the money, but we'll go for that. We'll deselect everything, and we're going to load up. So we need my categorizer. Hey there, game room. How you doing, buddy? And we need the horse. So H. Partner right there. It's all pretty. Obviously, yeah. I'll put the update up for that as well. I've actually started taking away this little color wheel as well off of things. It's kind of just standard. It's like, yes. So there we go. Go with that. You're doing good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Good. But yeah, we're just making a little mod for Mr. Farmer Marks, as well as anybody else who wants to use it. It's going to be basically a front tank that accepts your seeds, your fertilizer. I've also added in lime onto it as well. Actually, that's one thing I'm going to test quickly. I want to see if we had a sprayer on the back, have it empty, and then, or maybe part full, maybe put only a little bit in there. And we'll go on one of the fields to see if it switches over to the front tank as well for doing the lime side of things. But yes. Hopefully there's no issues. But yeah, it's very simple. It's a very simple little mod to do, to be honest. But yeah, if you just wanted to do the capacities, you could just go in, do the capacity side, not even worry about the color options and such. So yeah. I have a question for you. Is the special tree harvester to cut down the trees with green moss on them? I have no idea. I haven't cut any of the trees down. Well, I use a chainsaw, to be honest. But I'm guessing as they're decorative, for the most part, trees over there, you'll probably have issues. The only one I could think of that might do it, I can't remember the heck of the name of it, but I'll show you in just a sec. There is one tree harvester that does seem to have a larger cut area, which you could try. But I think is it Hannibal? Is that the one? You can cut regular trees, yeah. The tree butcher. What the heck's a tree buncher? That's what I want to know. Right, there we go. So we are in. We can confirm that. Right, so yeah, the thing I'm kind of thinking of is, I think it's under harvest. This thing, yeah, the Hannibal. Maybe give that a try. That might do it. Otherwise, you could use a chainsaw. Or if you want to, you could just chop them down with the brucks, like Dead Soul and a lot of people are doing. But yeah, yes. MP7 has one. A tree buncher. Yeah. Oh, that buncher, is that thing that drop wood chips some? Is that what you're on about, Farmer Marks? I'm not quite sure. I kind of watch his streams, but I don't really pay attention to what he's saying at times. I'm usually off elsewhere. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that none of these guys will go up high enough. That does 70. Obviously, that would do up to 120. I know with this, for example, the spruces, this will cut down the spruce trees if anybody has any spruces. But yes, a lot of those decorative trees are more of a chainsaw or a brucks type thing. So yeah, the new DLC is a challenge for me to play. Yes, indeed. A lot of people are finding that. So yeah, like the first one, but bigger, really. Oh, what this thing, the John Deere. Yeah, I know he made an edit to it to do bigger stuff. That oh, what? Yeah, obviously that only goes up to 58 centimeters. That does 70. That does 70. That does 120. But yeah, maybe an edited version of one of these that goes even higher. Maybe double it. Could potentially work. Yeah, but yeah, I'd try that other one first of all. If it doesn't, then yeah, Oh, could be a bit of a tricky one. Maybe just chainsaw and super strength it. But anyway, so yeah, this is what we're going to look at. So this little guy right here, that is quite nicely. Okay, I'm not getting any errors. As we can see, it goes from 1600 up to 100,000. Jeez, that's big. But okay. So okay, you might need. Oh, not quite sure about that grey on there. I'm sure it's meant to be darker. Let me just check something. Compare that against the previous one. I'm sure it's meant to be darker. Yeah. Yes. It might be harsh too. Yeah. Mind you, I don't mind that color. It's quite nice. It's a light grey. But anyway, so configuration. So standard. Obviously, you do have the tire option still there. So technically, if you wanted to, you could add that rim option into there. But I don't really need to worry about that. That's there. Okay, so that's all the base game stuff anyway. So that's fine. Capacity, we have 1600, 3200 with a double XL or double X, 3X, which is 48, 4X 5600, then Unreal, which is 100,000. So yeah, that is fine. Obviously, I'm going to keep it on the Unreal for the minute. Color-wise, so red. So everything that's red there should change. Did I select right? Pink, select. There we go. So as you can see, certain parts are not colorizing. So we are going to have to go back in and do a little bit extra finding, which we'll get to in just a sec. Now, purple. Okay, that's not too bad, actually. That'll be fine. It's just really those red pieces. Okay, so now that we've got that found, so if we come back into here, we'll load up the i3D again. So we need to basically find first the step right here on the front. Then we need to find these pipes and all that and make sure that they get added to the color options as well. So this is where the fun part begins. Dig it in. So the step is right there. Now, sometimes you can click straight onto it. There we go. Sometimes you can't. But let's see. So if we click onto this, we're looking for the harsh red. Now, looking at it, it's already been added. However, sometimes it doesn't always go on correctly. So there is the grid itself. See, this is where you really need to go in and dig deep. So there is obviously the step. Also, we've got the harsh red matte. That's what we want there. So that will match what is in the XML. So that is fine. So we'll save that one. So there's the first piece selected. So now that's saved, what you can actually do, and I always tend to come back out, we can actually do a GS store item, reload. And what that will do is it will reload the XML and the i3D for anything that's in here. So if we come back into this now and go to that red, you can now see that that step is now colored. Isn't that clever? Now the nice thing is you don't have to keep going in and out of the game all the time. So you can just reload it using your console. It's very easy. So right, so next thing up is obviously we're going to be this weight on the back. So we'll come into here, we'll go to the back of the horse here. Let me turn that speed down to about 10, it'd be better. And sometimes you can click on it, there we go. So there is the weight right there. So obviously we need to go into the material part again, find that harsh red one matte. So we're going to put that right there. We'll save that now. So that just leaves now what, the legs. And then this pipe right here on that one side, okay. So the pipe is going to be, I'm gonna guess, if we can click on it, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Oh, come on. Nope, go away. Let me close that. That or lower that. The worst thing is that where I just clicked that, so it kind of brought in all the decals. Don't want that. I want this right here. Oh, it's going to be a bit of a tricky one. Right, and so with this part where it becomes a little bit trickier to find, you may want to actually go through each and every child. That's what all these are. These are all little childs. So obviously this is going to be part of the configuration. So there's the legs, actually, thinking about it. So let's have a little look. So the supports. And as you can see, yeah, that doesn't have anything, so we'll put the mat onto that one. That's going to be the front ones. That, oh, need to change that to horse as well. Change that to there. So technically, with that now being saved, if we reloaded this, everything apart from this one pipe should now be changing. So if we do that. Now you don't have to, now if you've put a command in here, by the way, the console, already, what you can actually just do is bring up this where you can actually start entering it where the hash is, and if you actually just use the up or the down key, you can actually cycle through what you've previously put in here, so it saves a little bit of time. So if we come into here, we'll go with the pink. So all that front pieces is fine. It's not quite got all of that back one yet. So maybe there's something else in there that isn't quite getting selected. So we could actually go a little bit further down. So we've got these parts right here. Now, obviously you've got to look for basically any shape. It has to be the shape, not the node, okay? So just so you're aware, you got a node, which is basically a transform group. That's what these three little shapes are. You want to find this little box square thing. So as you can see right here, back in the material editing, there's nothing showing here. So if we actually now put that horse red one mat into there and save, we'll give that just a second. That should now take effect when we reload. There we go. Try this one more time. So obviously we're mainly focusing on these supports at the back here. So back to the pink, and there we go. So look at that. There we go. There we go. So just out of interest. Oh, what a surprise! There's even more there. So this is another thing where I keep forgetting is obviously when a base game piece of equipment has additional configurations, you may have to go that little bit deeper in game. So looking at this, we also need to come into the probably more of the configuration stuff here and find this front part, possibly that there. Yep, so it's literally diving deep. You really have to dig deep. This is what modders go through just to help you guys out. So there's that piece there. So that should technically be this part by the wheel that gets colorized there now. So we still need to find this pipe. So let's see if we can find it. There we go. So we've got two pipes here. I'm not quite sure what the configurations are for, but can we find them? There we go. So there is pipe one there. So we're going to add... Ooh. Now that should stay as grey. So we want the next piece up from that. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Dang it. I want that there. Come on, give me it. Give me it. Okay, so it's got to be one of these here, I'm guessing. So there's that one. Okay. Do we have a horse red? Yes, we do. Right there. So we'll pop that onto there. We might as well do that second pipe while we're here. There. And there. And looking at it, it's those back legs didn't quite get it as well. These right here. So there is the support arm. Yep, there we go. So pop that into there. There we go. And we'll see how that is so far. So obviously I've just saved that, so that should now hopefully take effect. There we go, look at that. Come back into the store. Now sometimes you can actually do it when it's in the store like this, but I always tend to prefer to come out. It gives it a little bit of time for the game to catch up. So there we go. So we've now got a full colorized version there. So on that configuration, it's good. Right. So we've got the tire roller configuration. So we are missing just that little piece in there. So if we bring this back again, we just need to find that. It's going to be this piece right here. Now this is going to be a little bit tricky to get to. So it's going to be part of this. Is it going to be part of that? Nope. Nope. See, this is where it gets a little more tricky to find certain parts. Fender? Okay, so looking at it as part of the fender here. Now, yeah, so it's just going to be the fender part shape we want. So we click on there, go down to the horse, because that's what we want. There we go. So we'll save that with a new name. And if we come out... Yeah, I always like to come out of the store, do the reload, and then go back in. I know some people will do it while they're in the store, just reload it. I find sometimes it doesn't always take effect. Just going back out and back into the store when reloading just gives it that little bit, the actual game, a little bit of time to catch up. So that configuration is fine. Oh, it hasn't quite got it yet. Did I save that? Let me just check. That is the fender, isn't it? Yes, that is the part I'm working on. Let me just make sure I save that a couple of times. Actually, I'm going to try this actually while we're here. Come into there. Set that there. See. Oh, there we go. It caught up. It took a little while to do it, but there we go. So that is now colorized as well. So that is good. All of the pipes are changing, so that is groovy. And then obviously the third part is going to be the compactor. So we need to obviously do the frame itself as well for this. So one more time into here. But yes, this is where the it gets really hard at times. Let's see. So where are you going to be? So you're part of the configurations, frame. I'm guessing it's going to be part of that there. Maybe that? No. Yeah, so that's got it on there already, so it's not going to be that one. It may be this further in. See, it could be this one. It's just a bit of... Yeah, there we go. So there's one that's missing it, so we'll add that to there. But yeah, this is what a lot of modders have gone through to make your vehicles and implements color selectable. It's kind of a pain in the behind. Let's see if we can do it in store a sec. While we're here. Oh, I hate doing this because it doesn't always work for me, but if we're on that last one, it didn't do it, so let's come back out. Let's make sure that's saved a sec. And Large Scooter 1, thank you very much for that follow, much appreciated. Much appreciated. So we're going to reload from here. See, this is why I don't like doing it when I'm still in the store. It just gives the i3D a little bit of time to update within the game as well. So now, if we did that right, if we come into here, we've got the configuration roller packer. Hopefully, there we go. So we've got the arms anyway working. There is one other thing I can see is these little bits underneath. The little wheel guides, as it were, I suppose they are. They just need to be done as well. So if we come around, we need to try and find these little buggers. So it's these little bits right here. There we go. Thankfully, I can click on them and it will take me straight to it in the i3D. Oh, come into there. Give that a name. Slot name. We'll save that. We'll do it a couple times just to make sure. Give it a moment to update in the game. This is where I like to come out, just to give it that little bit of time. We'll do the reload. There we go. And finally, hopefully, this should be the last one. So obviously we're looking at primarily these bits right there. We'll go with pink, and there we go. Pink, 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 pink. Pink, 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 pink. Everywhere is pink. Their secondary color. We'll go with purple. But yeah, what you could always do is, if you wanted, really wanted to, is go dive deep into the i3D, find the color, find the cover, I should say, give that its own color. You could even just leave these as a secondary. I wonder, just out of interest. Let's see, does this have cover? I would imagine it would be part of the moving parts here. Which it does look like it. I'm going to see if I can change the cover and keep this as it is and add that as a new one. Flap, maybe? Yep, there we go. So if I come into here a sec and change this one to 2. I'm going to save that a sec. Hopefully that doesn't affect the other one that was part of 1. Now, in the XML here, we're going to add one little line in as well. Well, not one line, but we're going to copy this design color. We're going to copy that. Oh, fudge, didn't mean to do that. Oops, there we go. Make sure it's not highlighted. Drop it down. We're going to put a second one here. I'm going to call this cover. Like thus. We're going to call that 2. We'll save that a second. Let me just make sure that I save this. And if I'm right, that should now have 3 color options for this front tank. Okay, it didn't do it. Why didn't it do it? Just out of interest. Okay, so it's still there. It hasn't quite taken in game yet. Let's try. Might have to come out and go back in, but usually this should kick in. It's not working. Oh, I see. I see my mistake. Does anybody see my mistake? I bet Green Thumb would. So now, obviously, as I've added a second color option here, or design up color, with this second one, we do need to name it 2. So design color for that first one, configuration, and then it's going to be design color 2 configuration. So anywhere we got it here, we've got to put a 2 there. We got to put a 2 there. That helps. And now obviously 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on how many material types you're adding. Well, you can go back through and watch it there, Green Thumb. You know all this anyway. Bless him. You're working. How rude. You are rude. So we'll come back in here. There we go. 3 color options. So first color option is obviously going to be that red bit. Why didn't that change? I broke it, guys. I've broken it. Now, why has that done that? Just out of interest. Well, that's weird. Okay, so that ain't going to work this time around anyway. So let's come back out. We're going to back all that up to before. But sometimes that will work, sometimes it won't. So it is what it is. So we'll get rid of that for the minute. We'll save that. So we want this color right here to be put back onto that cover. Actually, can I just back that up so it changes it back? So, oh, I'm a dingo, didn't I? I put it on the wrong one, I think. One sec, let me see. Let's put that on the 2 there. Let me take that back. I'm going to try something a sec. I think I might have put that on the red rather than the grey. I'm pretty sure that was what I did wrong. So we'll change that to 2 to match that. Yep. Let me save that a sec. Oh, we'll do that there. We'll do that there. See, even every now and again I get a little bit confused. There we go. So, oh yeah, there we go. That's naughty. Let's reload that. And yeah, see, let's see. Okay, grey 2 is missing. Interesting. See, so technically when I click on that, that should be the cover. But yeah, this time it may be the cover actually needs to be separated completely for this. Or I didn't save that correctly. Let me just save that again. So that shows Horse Grey 2 matte, which is correct. And Horse Grey 2 underscore matte, that is fine. As that, and we're going to rename that cover a sec, just in case. Obviously, we're going to be using that color for the minute. We'll save that. Make sure that that's saved. It may not take, or we may need to go further in and see. Let's try one more time. If not, I'm going to leave it as it is for the minute. I might even play around with it after the stream. Cover pink. Okay, so it's not working. Nope. Okay, it doesn't seem to be wanting to work. It may be that some in the model itself, the i3D, the cover needs to be removed and separated to get this to work. So that's not a problem. We'll keep it as the 2 for the minute then. There we go. We'll save that. So that should be fine. So Horse Red 1, and we should have a Horse Grey 1. Oh. And we'll just back that up to the 1 again for the grey. There we go. We'll save that, and actually just before come into here, oh, we've got a red there. That should be a 1 on that red. That's the one I buggered up. We'll save that, save that, save that again, just in case. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hey there, Mr. Viking Streaming. How you doing, buddy? So, ignore that part on top. But yeah, nothing warning-wise coming up. So that's a good sign. So, primary color. Okay, I need to check on that. I should have done a backup of this. Why is that not changing? Did I go even further back? Let me come back up to here. We'll come into here, go to the Horse Red. So that's Horse Red 1. Let me just double check something, make sure I didn't bugger it all up. May have to do a restart on this one. Color scale, that is fine. Got grey there, that is fine. It may just be that it's not quite caught up yet. Wheel frame, Horse Red 1, that's fine. Okay, so technically that should be fine. I might have to do a quick restart on that. I might have broken it, guys. I might have broken it. I hope not. Come on, behave. This time. So red, pink. There we go. I just wanted a moment. Right, so let's make sure. So that's fine. Yep, I'm happy with that. It just takes a little while for it to catch up. You're doing pretty good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, not too bad. having a few issues. So we've got the configurations there from default, 2 times default, 3 times, 4 times, and not Unreal. So we've got a primary color and a secondary color. I think that is fine. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I might look into seeing if I can get that to work with a cover color. And yes. Yes. This is why, to be honest, I think it's kind of good to show issues in the stream. For the simple fact, we're all human at the end of the day, Green Thumb. You're human, Vikings, human, even Dashnet and NBC, who make great maps, are human, but every now and again do have issues along the way getting there. But yeah, there we go. That's kind of cool. I'm happy with that as it is, so let's close that. Yikes. So that is now back. We've got 2 color options there. We've got a multiple capacity options added. But yes, the cover for the minute is going to be staying as it is. Now, this is where the fun part begins. I got to get this uploaded to you, so we're going to copy that name. We're going to highlight all that. We're going to compress the zip file. Done already. There's that, there's that, there's that. And let's see if I can find... By the way, hello Mr. Shawnee over on YouTube. Mediafire, there it is. We will slap that into the FS25 mod equipment, because that's where the heart... Ooh. Yes, we'll put that one in there. And for anybody who wants this, where the heck are you? Horse partner tank there. Copy that. So there is the partner tank. And yes, if you want it, grab it right now. Otherwise, I will be putting it up on my Trello right now as well, but you can grab it there. Trello, Billy Alpaca. And under equipment, we're going to add a new card. Harsh partner tank. Call that. Oh, I never tested the lime part. Let me know how you get on with the lime, if it works or not. Right, so pop that there. Down. Load here. There. And then we need to add a image. Desktop. Insert. There we go. So and added color options. Oops. And added capacity options. And while I remember, you will require my BAM categorizer. Copy that for that as well. Save. So that is up on my Trello as well. Let me know. Oh yeah. Added lime to fill type. There we go. Yeah, let me know how you get on with that. There we go, there we go. Save that. While I'm at it, I'm going to put this into my little folder as well. Yep. Right, I don't need that for the minute. We're going to pop that on my desktop. I'll see if I can work out that cover at some point. because you never know, I might get it working. And why didn't that work properly? I don't know, but I don't need that anymore. While I'm at it, I am going to upload my other horse cedar as well. The horse maestro right there. So this is the one I'm currently using. If you're not quite sure, it's that big guy right there. Obviously I did go in and added onion to this as well. So I might as well get that updated. I'm going to do a separate folder for this one though. FS25 Highlands. I'm going to put this under the Highlands fishery stuff because obviously you do need that DLC for the onions. GG! Now, what's kind of funny? Thank you, Johnny, by the way, for that GG. So that's just uploading. That's verified horse there. So if anybody wants that horse maestro with onions as an option, remember you do need the DLC to use it. There is the link for it right there. And let me grab a copy of this guy. I'm going to save as to the desktop, PNG, save. I'll do a duplicate under here. You can see what I should show you what I'm doing. So we're getting a few now, actually, aren't we? So harsh. I can never remember how you spell it. I've got one here. There. MAEST Oh, cedar. Keep the same name as that for the minute. Come into here. Add attachment. So we'll choose an image, which is going to be that one. Insert. We'll attach that link right there. Download. Here makes life easier. Keeping it all standard. So this is the same as my other version, but also plants, onion. There we go. Obviously this requires Highlands fishery DLC for onions to work. There we go. We'll keep that as is. There we go. But yeah, there we go. So that's there. But yeah, we're getting there slowly. So yeah, if anybody does want it after the stream, obviously it is up here under the FS25 Highlands Fishery DLC compatible mods. So obviously I already got my fish storage up there. I have my salmon lakes. Obviously I've got that little auger wagon thing right there, which will do all of the normal root crops as well as onions. Obviously that does have some quite good capacities as well, so definitely worth trying. And obviously now we do have that horse all cedar as well, which has now been updated to do the onions. So yeah, that's fine. That is fine. That is fine. But yeah, there's a load of stuff up there if you want it. Yes, might have use of that soon. There. We don't need to see all that rubbish. Close. Well, not close, but done. There we go. Let me just close that. I don't think. Nope, good. So that should allow me to now pull that out of there. Yep, there we go. Done. Yeah, I'll have a look at it later on and see if I can get that cover as a colour option as well later on. We'll see. But yes, there you go, Mr. Farmer Marks. Enjoy. Let me know how you get on with the lime, actually. So, should we get back into the game for a little while? And if I get over to the game screen, you guys can do your exclamation mark Plinko and exclamation mark fish in chat again. See, I'm going to get in there first though. Haha! There we go there. Right then, let me go back through and see what's going on, because I probably totally and utterly missed tons of stuff over there. Let's see, so that's where we got to. Like the first one, but bigger. Cool. That's fine, Obviously, Mr. Viking. Pretty good, yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one who runs into issues when modding on streams, yeah. Nice day for a little BAM. Exactly. Actually, out of interest, anything on release today? Oh, that's back. The supply and transport contracts is back, or is being updated. So cool. Okay, yeah. Actually, one of the things I do want to do, while this is loading up, hang on, let me just make sure I got that active. There we go. Go. And J-Dog, thank you very much for that mega fart there. I'm just sort of slowly working my way back through chat in a minute. Issues is a part of modding, indeed, Mr. Viking, indeed. You're awesome, Billy. Thank you for showing us that. No worries. Obviously, yeah, you don't have to go into too much detail with, obviously, modding. If you don't want to do the color options, you don't have to. But yeah, maybe play around with it a little bit. But you obviously do need the current version of the editor for it, that's for sure. And a pretty decent system. But yeah, if you guys are not following Mr. Green Thumb Farmer there, or Mr. Farmer Marks, make sure to click on their links and give them a follow. Yes, and thank you very much, Mr. Culp, for the shoutouts. Yeah, there's one there for Mr. Culp as well, so yes, go over and give them all a follow. Actually, what I could do is, I might want to pin that. Oh, never mind. Yes, actually, while this is loading up, I'm going to do some manual shoutouts. Oh, heck, okay. For a few people out there. There we go. Let me make sure the game's there. So we've had Mr. T Miller out there, and he's probably gone off to work. And I might have missed it, or unless he's off streaming, I don't know today. But make sure to click on these links when I put them in chat, and make sure that you are following them. Okay, so we've got Green Thumb Farmer there, Mr. Farming Trucker. We did have Mr. NBC there. He's probably lurking again, working on Satisfactory or something. No idea. Oh, there's the other button. I know we've got Mamadou out there. We have Mr. Cope, Mr. Farmer Marks there. I know PJ was here earlier. She's probably lurking and playing the game at the same time. So yeah, if you're not following any of those guys, make sure to click on the links, give them a follow. Now, obviously, one thing I am going to do is give Mr. Dashnet a shout out as well, because yeah, he is awesome and deserves it. Why the heck not? And I'm going to do a few others. So the SGA guys. So we've got Big Daddy there, Mr. Wheels, Mr. Impact 7, Mr. Brewcrew. I'm going to do Mr. Darius Frost. I haven't seen him in a while, but as far as I'm aware, he's doing well. So we've got Mr. Evil Reyes there. Oh yeah, Mamadou. I forgot. Did I do Mamadou? I can't remember. I think so. I have no idea, but we'll give Mamadou a shout out. I missed her. I do apologise, but yeah, there is Mamadou as well. Where did I get to? Evil Reyes. Oh, Nuts a Grumpy Dwarf. Hang on a sec. Hang on. I've got a whole load of buttons here. We've got Imperial Gamer. We got Farming Guy. We got Tyvius. Mr. Viking Streaming. Yoshohin. I know he's doing a lot of late streams. I don't actually. When was it? I haven't seen Yosho in a while popping up. So, another member, if you're not aware, Bravo Chick as well. She is a member, but has been taking some time off for personal reasons. But yeah, always best to give her a shout out and a click and a follow and all that, because you never know, she may be back before you know it. Let's see, we have Mr. Buy Tacos, we have Boomhauer, we have Mr. Scurvy Hayam, we have the amazing Mr. X-Man 1971, bless his cotton socks. I know Mr. Ryan K has been streaming as well recently again. We have Mr. Casketman20. Now, one thing with Casket, if you don't like swearing and stuff like that, you may want to stay away from them. But yes, he's an interesting character. And finally, we have Mr. Reliant Robin Crew. I know he's doing a lot of real life stuff at the minute, so... But yeah, if you're not following any of those guys, make sure to click on their links, give them all a follow. Right then, I think I've got everybody. Actually, the last one, I might as well do Mr. Dajnet's other account, so the AI Christian Music. I know he hasn't streamed in a while over there, but if you like that sort of music, you never know, he may be back. You never know. Oh yes, I remember. I almost forgot. We're in tornado period, aren't we now? I don't think it's kicked in quite yet. Oh, there it is. I see ya. It's right by the farm. Look at it. Oh, you beauty. We have a tornado, peeps. We have a tornado. Actually, can't really see it very well, so let's go into flight mode and let's see if we can do a little bit of tracking. Oh, there we go, there we go. It's kind of weird how that visual is, but there it is. Obviously, I do have the visuals only on, by the way, so I won't get any crop damage or anything like that because I'm not silly. But yeah, look at that, another one, another one. Oh. Okay, so yeah, that is kind of cool. I'm not going to get too close because it gets really noisy in here. Yes. Yes, a twister on the river. Would that be more of a water spout? I don't know. But yes, there we go. Anyway, I would love to just sit here and watch this, but I've got work to do. But it's nice to show them off every now and again. But yes, this is what I'm doing right here. So for those who may have missed it earlier, yes, I've got a whole load of weeds to get removed from over here. So if I come over to oh, wrong screen. As you can see, this whole area right here is like weed infested. I also have my soybean fields over here that need to be done. So yes, obviously I'm probably not going to get into it doing it today, but maybe tomorrow during the stream we'll make a start on getting these 3 fields and possibly this one up the top here mowed. Oh, excuse me, mowed, because obviously that is all grass ready to get cut and baled and such. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be focused on right now. I may leave some for tomorrow, I don't know yet. I kind of wish I'd put these 2 fields together into one. I think that might have been an easier option. Maybe something for next time. See, I'm kind of looking at this now. I'm thinking maybe remove these trees, get rid of this road here, and just have one giant field here. That could potentially work. So yes. Actually, Yoshio was in a video with Rhino last week. Who's Rhino? Out of interest. Just out of interest. Who's Rhino? But I know that the last time I seen him, he was still doing that farm sim and ATS sort of crossover thing, where obviously they do the farming side of things on here, but then they'd cross over to like ATS to do like the transporting side, and it's kind of a weird thing, but kind of a cool idea. It'd be a nice concept if it was ever to be brought into the game, where you could take things from here and put them into like a contract on ATS and such, or ETS for example. See, that would be kind of cool. Fearsome Rhino, they were doing farm sim, really? Okay. Never heard of Fearsome Rhino. I might have to check him out. Yeah, the worst thing is, obviously, where I'm in the UK, also I know for Yosho anyway, he tends to go very late. It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when he starts streaming my time. So it's hard to actually say, "Hi Yosho, how you doing?" type thing. So yeah, but yeah, it'd be cool to see Mr. Yosho again. Danny, oh, is she still doing her art and stuff, or has she gone on to doing other things? So yes, it's one of the squads guys. Ah, okay. But yes. By the way, hello Shawnee and Farmer Marks over on YouTube. By the way. Right. With all this yakking, I've run out of drink, so I'm gonna just quickly pop to the bathroom, which is right across the hall from me, and grab fresh water. Be right back, guys. And there we go, done. Ready. Drinky poos, drinky poos. Yeah, so, yeah, it's just now going through, getting all the weeds removed. Actually, I have a feeling that these weeds are a little bit too tall to remove with a mechanical weeder, which is the downside. I'm hoping the ones by the farm, which is the soybean, because they were only literally just planted the previous day. I'm hoping that the weeds on there are still small enough to use the weeder, because they're kind of like bouncing between the herbicide and obviously the weeder as well, mechanical one. So we'll see. Maybe something to leave for tomorrow, in all honesty. But yes. And I still have no idea whether Mr. Dajnet has updated the mod full of Switcher. He just doesn't seem to be replying to any of my messages, and obviously he went late last night, so I don't know. And hello Mamadou over on YouTube, welcome in. Yes, we have about 20 odd minutes left to the stream, and then yeah, I have a snake to feed tonight. Actually, yesterday got some nice new substrate for my snake's vivarium, and he, in all honesty, I think he likes it. It really does. He was burying himself in it. Literally, it's a 4 or 5 foot vivarium. The only thing I do need to sort out is a decent light on there, and yeah. He actually went in and buried himself. I did a little bit of extra research on corn snakes, because that's what he is. And seemingly corn snakes do like to dig. So I went in on Amazon last week and ordered him a new sort of bedding. So it's like it's almost like wood. It's not wood chips or wood. It's kind of like a wood bark, but it's broken down a bit further. But the stuff actually keeps moisture longer in the vivarium, so it should help him with when it comes around to shedding and stuff. So, but yeah, I think it looks a lot nicer in here. I've got some nice little plants hanging from the back, a couple of caves, one on the warm side, one on the cold side. So yeah, he does seem to like it, and he actually buried himself underneath one of the caves, which is kind of crazy. I looked at him yesterday evening, and he had literally dug underneath the cave itself. He had his head poking out of the hole for the cave, but the rest of his body was going down the side of the viv. It's kind of crazy. But yes, maybe one day I'll set up a little camera for you guys to see him. A little snake cam. There we go. That's something to work on in the future. And yes, Mr. Shawnee, I see. Okay, I will have to check them out. Much appreciated. Coolio. No thanks for you, PJ. You're not a fan of snakes? He's only 5 foot long. He's a lovely little boy. What's kind of crazy? So when I change out the vivarium to clean them out and stuff, I've got a second tub that I put him in. And up until recently, he's fitting there pretty fine. When I put him in there yesterday, he was getting very tight. Let's put it that way. So it looks like I'm going to have to look into getting a bigger tub or something to put him in when cleaning him out. So, yeah. I'll have to get a picture of him for you to show you him. He's lovely. He really, really is. He's only ever gone for me once, and that was because he was extra hungry and missed his mouse when I was feeding him. That's the only time he's actually got me. He nicked one of my fingers, that's about it. Didn't really feel it, to be honest. So he's got no venom or nothing like that, so he's completely safe. Not even a little bit. Oh, PJ. I don't think I've got any pictures of him on my computer, so... Oh, I might have a picture of him when he was a babby. Actually, thinking about it, on my computer, so yes. How often do you feed him? I say it's usually every 5 to 7 days, Hectate. But I tend to try and change it out a little bit, so I might feed him on the 5th day, I might feed him on the 7th day. I might even leave him a couple of days more, just to build up that hunger in him. The response, so yeah, but it's usually around about the 7 days apart. He will usually have 2 extra large mice, frozen by the way, frozen thaw, and never give them live, because with tame snakes you should never give them live, because obviously it could potentially hurt them. So yeah, I always go with frozen thaw. Also, we got a great reptile centre up the road from us. They do other lizards, they do snakes, they got frogs in there, amphibians, you name it. Anything that's weird, they'll pretty much have it. They have monitors up there as well. It's crazy, some of the stuff. But yeah, spiders. Oh, they got tons of different spiders up there. Oh yes. I keep wanting to try and get my daughter in there so I can get a cheap discount on some of their stuff over there, but yeah, she's not interested at the minute. But yeah, bless them. You can keep all of them out of there. Actually, I would love to have a second snake, but at the minute my wife says no. She wants to get some mice. So if we ever do, we will have, let's see, 1 budgie-rigger, so parakeet, whatever you want to class it as. 2 rats, whatever mice my wife has. Obviously, Mr. Ronin, the snake, plus 3 cats. But yeah, I want to get another snake. I want to get my fish tank back up and running. It's just like, at the minute, money and funds. And space as well, that's the other problem. We're seriously running out of space in here. Which is why I had to break down my tank. Fish tanks, I think, are great. If you ever get a bit stressed, just sit down in front of a tank and watch your fish. It is very therapeutic. Especially once it's up and running. One thing I will say is, if you're quite new to the hobby for fish keeping, it can be a little bit stressful to start off with. Oops, wrong line. I don't want that line. I want, oh, that one. Yeah, it can be very stressful, get the pHs right, and this, that, and the other right. Personally, once you get past that first month or a couple of months, and the tank is starting to mature, then you'll find your stress levels for your fish go way down. Then you can actually start sitting back and enjoying it. Obviously doing your water changes and cleaning out your filters whenever you need to is probably the most stressful things and they only need to be done, well, some do it every month. In all honesty, I don't think you even need to do it that much, depending on your fish tank, really. I was doing it as and when needed, really. Usually every couple of months. Just give the sponges themselves a good clean out. Obviously, take some of the tank water itself. Give them a good clean out that way, so you're not losing too many of the bacteria that are in there. And you should be good to go. And obviously, if you do have to change out the sponges, always use some of the tank water as well, or your filtered water. It makes life so much easier. Kind of gives it a little bit of a kickstart, shall we say, for getting the bacteria into those sponges that's primarily needed. There we go. But yes, I do miss my fishies. That's one thing I will say, I do miss my fishies. Oh well, maybe one day again. One day again. But for now, I'll have to stick with obviously lure bait and other things like that, like Mr. Shawnee is doing there. Oh. I'm kind of curious why Playing Code just doesn't seem to like Mr. T. Miller. It seems like every time he plays it, he's like miles away from it. I know last month he at least got close to it twice, so it doesn't totally hate him. It's one thing I will say. So yes. I had a 55-gallon aquarium, was nice, but a pain in the butt to keep it clean. Yeah. Oh yes. I think the hardest fish I've had to keep the tank clean is like the African cichlids. I had tons of different cichlids. Beautiful, I will say one thing. They were beautiful, beautiful fish, but they were a nightmare to keep the tank clean. They were forever digging into the gravel and uprooting plants and rocks. There's definitely one thing you don't want to have in a tank with African cichlids is plants and stuff. You want to try and maybe keep it semi-basic with rocks and stuff. But yeah, I started off with, I don't know, maybe 15 to 20 of them, and ended up with over 100 within a few months from breeding. Oh yes, I came to realize that some of them, when I bought them, were actually pregnant. So yes, not good at all. That's a big tank. You had a shark in it? Yeah, I've had quite a few. Mainly the bloodfin black sharks. That's what I've mainly had in the past. But yeah, I do like the catfish. I love catfish, I will say. One of the catfish I would love is like a red tail. You may or may not have heard of it. It's like it gets crazy big. So that's what the one reason I haven't got it or bought one is because I know they get freaking huge. And yes, a red tail catfish is nasty. But Pim's catfish, or whatever you want to class it is. Yep, had a fair few of them over the years. I had I think it was a bumblebee catfish at one point as well. Thankfully, it turned out to be the nicer of the bumblebees because there's actually two bumblebee catfish. One is a predator type catfish, which is nasty. You want to keep away from that. The second one is more of a docile version. So, yeah, luckily I was able to get the second option. But I had to do a lot of research to make sure that it was the correct one before I added it into my tank, because I know I would have lost a heck of a lot of my fish within no time with the predator one there. Because, yeah, they like their little fishies, let's put it that way. But yeah, out of interest, what kind of a shark did you have there, Mr. Shawnee? Because I know there's quite a few in the hobby that can be owned. Obviously, over here in the UK, we tend to really have just the smaller ones that don't get too big. But I know over in America, you can get some quite big ones. And then obviously yours was a little bit over a foot long before you sold it. Oh man, that was a puppy. That was a puppy shark, wasn't it? Yeah, the same I had. Oh, Green Thumb had 220 gallons tanks. Oh, nice. And had to put the whole arm in to reach the bottom. Yep, I've had a couple of tanks like that, definitely. But sadly, I had to get rid of them when I had to downsize your house. Yeah, that is the thing. Yeah, when you've got plenty of space to start off with, you can get some nice tanks going, and then yeah, you have to downsize and you have to, yes, do away with them. That's the hard part about it, I think. That really is the hard part. Thankfully, well, I wouldn't say we've had to downsize here. It's just where my wife's got more furniture in, it's kind of removed a lot of this extra space. Oh, bless her. Yeah, obviously we've had to get like new couches and seats, stuff like that in the living room. And that's obviously where we had the tank and, yeah, or I should say tanks at one point. Actually, at one point I actually had 2 tanks bought from completely different places, but were identical practically in every way. The tanks themselves, obviously the content that I decided to put in were completely different. Obviously I had one that was what you would class as freshwater, so it's more what we class as tropical over here. So it would be things like your angelfish, stuff like that, Coriodoris, catfish, things like that. And then the second one was what we class as cold water, so goldfish type fish, basically. But yes. But it was each one was decorated completely differently, but the filter systems were identical, the lighting systems were identical, the tank sizes were identical. So yeah, I've bred angelfish, Coriodoris, guppies. Actually, the simple thing, if you ever want to get into fish keeping and fish breeding, guppies, platies, things like that are very easy to get going. The only thing I never actually got into doing was really discus, and I would love to have discus. They are absolutely beautiful fish, but for that I would definitely go with a decent sized tank, have it completely planted out, and the right lighting, and obviously you have to have like arrow water for that as well. So it's a lot more hassle, that is. So, but yeah, the closest I ever got to keeping discus was obviously the angelfish. But yeah, even they, actually, that's another thing. I actually got some pair of breeding angelfish at one point. It was kind of annoying because when they laid their eggs, it was on the side of the under gravel filter. And obviously you got the pipe that comes up, and they actually decided they were going to lay their eggs on the filter itself. It's like, really, it was a pain. The worst thing is, by the time I realised and got to them, the freaking catfish, the Coriodoris, had gone through and freaking eaten the whole lot. It's like, no! It was a nightmare. But yeah, I had some albino Coriodoris, little catfish things, had them breeding. They love to lay the eggs on the actual glass of the tank itself, even though there was other things around for them to do it. They were a nightmare. So egg layers are a nightmare. Fish breeders, or brooders should say, so your African cichlids, they were great fun. Because you don't actually realize it until they start spurting out all these little baby fish from their gobs. It's fun to watch, I will say that. Oh, Mamadou, you don't even want a worm, let alone a snake, really. Oh, a slow worm. You should get a slow worm then, Mamadou. They're kind of a thick, chunky worm. They get about a foot long. Don't know if he got them over in America, to be honest, but yeah. There was, yeah, and that's another thing as well. The babies always got eaten, or the eggs used to get eaten by the parents. It's a nightmare. They just literally lay them, then turn around 5 minutes later, then munch away on them. So no. When you get into the breeding, yeah, it can be quite a bit of work. I will say, but it can be rewarding. Obviously, once you got the tank fully settled, if you can actually set one up that's oh, I can't think of what it's actually called, but you can actually set a tank up where it's got like plants and all this and that and the other. Self-sustaining, that's what I'm thinking of. You can actually set up a tank that's self-sustaining where you don't actually need to do much cleaning at all. Maybe the odd bit of glass cleaning. But yeah, with the right plants, with the right lighting and stuff like that, you can actually have a fully self-sustaining fish tank. You don't have to do any cleaning of any kind. Maybe the odd bit of trimming on certain plants. That's another thing I've never actually got that far into, but I've been watching a lot of videos about it recently, and if I ever set up a tank again, that's what I'm kind of thinking of doing. So obviously that would need a proper substrate added to it for the plants, the correct plants for oxygenation, obviously the ones that will remove certain chemicals from the water so you don't add any chemicals in, stuff like that. So it's a lot more work, but like I was saying, once you've got past the teething period, which is usually the first couple of months, it's really easy to keep fish, in all honesty. I've been keeping them since I was like, what, 15? I think I had my first fish tank. And back then I was having guppies, tetras. I even, a couple of times I had is it elephant nose fish. I've had glass catfish. They're fun. Phantom glass catfish. That's another good trick. If you have got an empty fish tank with just some water in, and you got some kids around, tell them to see if they can find the glass catfish in your tank. The kids will be there for ages and ages, quiet, trying to find the catfish. It's a good way to keep them occupied. But yeah, there's technically nothing actually in there. It's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I like it. It's really funny. Okay, it was a white spotted bamboo shark. And they can grow up to about 37 inches long. Wow. Yeah, it's very cruel, but it's very funny. It's when they cotton on, that is where it becomes very, very funny, though, Shawnee. Yeah, I had a tank. It was probably maybe about maybe a foot and a half long, roughly. I can't remember the exact capacity of it. But I had literally just that, a filter in it, and some gravel. It was just settling in, sort of thing. And yeah, one of my nephews came over one day and he says, "Oh, what have you got in your fish tank?" And I says, "Oh, I've got some phantom glass catfish in there. Can you spot them?" And I was like pointing over, usually over in that back corner there, and I was really winding him up this one day. It wasn't until his mother came over, slapped my head and says, "He's kidding, there's nothing actually in there." But yeah, it is so much fun with kids because they're so gullible at times. You get some people as well that are a bit gullible as well, so did that with my mum once, because the reason I got into the fish keeping is obviously my mum always wanted fish, so I thought I'd try and get in and maybe show her a little bit of how to get started. Obviously when I first started, it was a bit hard, it was a bit rough, went through tons and tons of fish because I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. But yeah, eventually got there, and yeah, Still, one thing that she never got around to doing is having her own fish tank set up, because in her opinion it did feel like it was a lot of work just to get a bit of relaxation, so she just used to sit in front of my tanks. So yeah. But I'll have to try and dig out some of the pictures of my old tanks, if I've got them still, because they were pretty fishies in some of them. Oh yes. The only thing I've never really had is things like aquarium frogs. I know you can get like aquatic frogs, can't you, for your fish tank? Albino ones mainly over here. That's one thing I've never really gotten into, because from what I understand from most of them, they can be a bit of a predator frog towards your fish, so that's one reason why I haven't done it. Yes. Well, that's another field done, by the way. We now have, let's see, 1, 2, 3 fields over here still to do. Then the 2 or 3 fields by the main farm. So, yes. There we go. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be carrying on doing for the time being anyway. Oh, it looks... Oh, before we disappear, I need to move my eggs. So save that there. We're going to move these eggs out of the way quickly. And we'll find someone to raid out to today, because it's my time. It's still going. It's still going. Where's my little forklift? Right there. Oh, you can just about see it through the trees there in the far distance. Coolio, coolio, coolio. Actually, let's do it that way. Oh, while I remember as well, so my meat cow farm, or cow meat farm, what you want to call it, the one with the Anguses, I did buy some new cows for that pen. Oh, even though they're not really going to get used, to be honest, but now I do have, I think it was about 30 Highland cattle over there, so yay! So yes, we've got onions over here on rivers, we've got the fish going, we've got Highland cows in here now. The only thing is I don't know whether or not JD will add in the Highland cows into the butcher for some Highland Coos steaks or something. We'll have to wait and see. I doubt it, because obviously if he does do the edit, then everyone's going to need to have the DLC. And it's a pain to have multiple mods going at the same time. Yes. There's that cleared. Oh, and one thing I will say is I did make a start on getting some of these sheds replaced that Mr. Green Thumb Farmer did, because obviously the update screwed it. But yes, we've now got them looking not too bad. That's not too bad there, but we'll grab these guys as well. A little bit far away. Hopefully my fork is long enough to get through the 2 of them there. But yeah, I was actually having a look at some of the other sheds from the DLC, and in all honesty, they're not quite right for this farm area. But I do want to look into, at some point, maybe utilising them elsewhere. Now, whether that's going to be on this map or on another, I have no idea yet. I might save it for the next SGA map, if there's another one. We'll see. We shall see, because I do want to use them. It's also getting in the right frame of mind, and the right style. There we go. There we go, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. With that, actually, let me see. I don't know if I can see any in the pen itself. let's come over to here. Oh, click on visit. Oh, hello. You're in the Highland. You're one of the Anguses. You're an Angus. So this has almost become a bit of a Scottish, I suppose, animal cow pen. There we go. We got a Highland coo right there. Hello. Hello. What else we got? It's an Angus. Pyong pyong. I have flight mode enabled, so it's making me go that little bit faster around here. It's horrible. No, go away. Hello. Yes. Oh, there's one. There's one. Hello, mate. Can I call you Dougal? I want to call you Dougal. You should look like a Dougal. Anyway, there we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, you didn't mean to hold back. Oh, thank you. I was complaining to my daughter the other day about her eating all the chocolates. Get her a bag of chocolate buttons, and she never seems to share them with me. She's actually just come through and dumped them right on my lap. But there we go. We're going to call it there for today. Ending off with a tornado. Isn't that fun? But yes, thank you very much to everyone for coming out today. Much appreciated. Let me... Okay, get in your last bit of fishing. Come on. Come on. And I can find someone to raid out to while you're doing that. See, one thing is, by pushing just a few extra minutes, you usually find more people are alive out there. So, it's kind of slim pickings for farm sim players, but I do see a PJ Trep is out there, and she's actually on a motorbike. Ooh, that's a funky little bike. I think we'll go see what PJ's up to. She was in chat a little while ago. Maybe wind her up about get her some snakes or something. But let's get over to the ending screen and say a big huge thanks to all you guys coming out today. Thank you very much for the follows. Thank you very much for the bits. Much appreciated. And yeah, let me know how you get on with that front tank there, Mr. Farmer Marks. Especially on the lime. Because obviously I don't know whether that will actually work, because I never actually tested it. But yeah, maybe have that on the front and a spreader on the back. Be fine. Right, let's get this raid underway. If I can find her. There, she's right at the top of my list, so that is good. So for you guys over on YouTube, thanks very much for tuning in. Much appreciated.